Hey guys, Coach Taters here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I am going to answer the question, can you lose weight without tracking calories? You guys want to see something funny? Boom. It's a boom poll. Boom. Funny stuff. The simple answer is yes, of course you're able to lose weight without counting calories. However, calories still count. So when you're going into your weight loss journey, you need to understand that calories in versus calories out, so the amount of calories that you're taking in through food and the amount of calories that you're expending through exercise, that energy balance on a daily basis for consistent periods of time is what's going to give you weight loss. So you have to kind of think about that when you're planning your attack. Doesn't mean you have to count calories rigidly or at all in order to lose weight. Plenty of people have lost weight without counting calories, and you certainly can too. I'm going to discuss with you some tools that you can use in order to aid you in your weight loss journey without having to count calories. One very important thing for you to do is to increase protein and vegetable intake. Have 3 meals per day with 2 snacks, and your main meals should include one source of lean protein and then a lot of high fibrous vegetables. That is going to keep you feeling full while still helping you lose weight. So here you have to understand a little bit about the difference between calorie dense foods and then foods that are high in volume but low in calories, and try to kind of move your diet in an area where you're getting a lot of food volume but relatively low calories per meal. That is going to really aid you in feeling full and still losing weight. Here's what I mean. My personal favorite, peanut butter. I'm not even allowed to buy it anymore because I eat so much of it and then I complain to my partner about how fat I'm getting. So I'm not even allowed to buy it or have it in the house anymore. Now, peanut butter is a great source of healthy fats. However, it's so calorie dense. You know, one small tablespoon is close to 100 calories. And if you actually measure out a tablespoon, it's depressingly small amount of food. If you are eating foods that are high in calories, like using a lot of oil, using nut butters, nuts, things that are very easy to consume in high quantities, when they're high calories, that is going to really stop you from making good progress along your weight loss journey. So things that you can do is try and reduce those foods that are higher in calorie density. Maybe opt for low fat variations of certain things, dairy products, which is like milk, yogurt, low-fat cheese. Many things that you can do and just to bring the calories down a little bit but still enjoy food. Low-fat cheese is one of my favorites. You know, a few sprinkles of that on a couple meals and it tastes great and you're not getting a huge amount of calories from that. All of these small changes are going to add up. Maybe use slightly less oil for your cooking and try not to drink your calories as well. So when it comes to drinking calories, it's very easy to chug a load of calories in whether it's fizzy drinks or smoothies. Very easy to drink those, and generally speaking, because they're already liquefied, they're going to exit your system very quickly too, which can leave you feeling hungry rather sooner rather than later. With that said though, I do still recommend you have an inclusive rather than exclusive diet. And what I mean by that is you should still sprinkle in foods that you enjoy within that diet, because if it's something where it's too rigid and strict, then it's going to be really difficult for you to adhere to that diet. So I highly recommend that you take food in small quantities, in moderation. You know, everything in moderation is what people say all the time, and you should be able to enjoy those certain foods, whether it's a pastry at the weekend. You know, that's something that I quite like to do. Whether it's, you know, some chocolate here and there, or now and again it's a latte perhaps instead of a black coffee. Be sure to be including those things that you enjoy, just in moderation, because if those generally foods that taste good are high in carbs, high in fats, nothing wrong with either of those macronutrients. However, they are very moreish, which means you want to just have more and more and more. So it's hard to moderate. So just be careful of that kind of intake, but still be trying to enjoy your diet. Okay, let me introduce you to the hunger scale. So we have a 1 to 10 scale. 1 being starving, or Hank Marvin, as we say in the UK, all the way up to 10 being completely stuffed. Now, you don't want to be at either of the two extremes, really. You don't want to be so hungry that you're feeling moody, hangry, You know the feeling. And you also don't want to be stuffed to the brim. So you kind of want to be, I recommend, somewhere between a 2 and a 3, probably a 3 and a 7 or 8. So if you stay within that range, you never let yourself get too hungry that you're just ravenous and you're going to eat everything. That can lead to picking up food while you're cooking, okay? And it can also lead to just eating way too much food that you don't actually need. Your body's just craving so much by that. I recommend staying between a 3 and going up to a 7, perhaps an 8. Then you're never going way too full, so you're also going to be able to limit the amount of food that you're intaking, because you're only eating to the point where you're satiated but not super full and stuffed. And then that's going to help you moderate your calorie intake without actually counting calories as well. Or another great idea for you to include when you're not counting calories but trying to lose weight is a habit tracker. You know, maybe set up a habit tracker where you can track, did you have a lean protein source at every meal that day? Did you have vegetables for every meal that day? Did you have 3 meals, 2 snacks? Did you have something that you enjoyed? Did you do your number of steps that you want to complete? These things can lead up to, you know, compounding over time. As you check off daily habits, that's all going to pay off in the long run. Of course, you want to also get your activity up by walking a lot, being active, maybe going to the gym and doing a workout plan. All of those things are going to help you burn calories, and then you're not just relying on the food intake to help you lose weight, but you're also relying on extra activity. Now, don't fall down the trap of punishing yourself for eating food or not eating much because you didn't go to the gym. Just be just lead an active lifestyle and eat according to the last few points that we've had on. And then the last thing I recommend you do is to track your progress. So the way that I like to track progress is body weight, measurements. So I take a measuring tape and I put it around certain areas of the body. Progress pictures once every 4 weeks, and also, you know, how do clothes fit. Perhaps there's a certain item of clothing that you can use as a benchmark to test once every 4 weeks. Does that feel like it's fitting differently? Then you can really decide to make changes to your diet, because if you're not seeing progress across 4 weeks, you know, you can just reduce food intake a little bit more or increase activity a little bit more. One of the good reasons of counting calories is you can take a calculated approach. You know, you can look at the weight loss that you're making in comparison to the calorie intake, and you can say, okay, I'm losing way too much weight, it's too quick. You don't want that to be the case, because that can lead to it being non-sustainable and lead to you kind of rebounding after your diet. So you want to be finding something that's sustainable and adherable. So just going very gradually is my recommendation. So if you're tracking your body weight, you can tell if you're losing weight way too quickly. I suggest maybe aim for half a pound to a pound per week, you know, across the course of 12 to 16 weeks. 12 to 16 pound, if you manage that, that's fantastic. You don't need to be any more than that. Okay, forget the magazines that tell you, okay, lose 20 pound in a month. Maybe that's possible if you lose a lot of water and you feel awful. You're going to rebound from that afterwards back to your original weight, maybe even higher. So take the slow approach, because this is going to be really sustainable. So to wrap this up, you don't need to be counting calories in order for you to lose weight, but that certainly doesn't mean that calories don't count in the grand scheme of things. So here's a recap on some of the things that you need to understand. Calorie balance is key, so it all comes down to the number of calories coming in and the number of calories going out. So you don't need to track calories, but you just need to maybe increase your activity a little bit and reduce your food intake slightly, or opt for low calorie, high volume foods like fibrous vegetables, like lean protein, like low fat options on your dairy products, and avoid or limit foods that are high in calories, high calorie dense food. Modulate your oils, your peanut butter, that kind of thing. Don't drink your calories. Always stay between a 3 and a 7 on the hunger scale. Don't be so hungry that you get hangry. Use a habit tracker to track certain things like protein and vegetable intake, as well as activity as well. Have an inclusive versus exclusive diet, so you're making sure that you are still enjoying food and including foods that you love within your diet. Increase your activity levels slightly, and remember to track your progress. Once you track your progress, you'll be able to see, are you making progress? Bloody hell. So then you can make changes to your diet or your activity levels as you get to read the data that you get back. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, thank you to everyone that subscribed to the channel already. I really appreciate you being here. If you haven't, please hit the subscribe button. Please like this video. It really helps me out a lot. It helps me know that you're here, you're watching, you're finding this content helpful. If you've got any questions, then please drop them in the comments below, or you can message me on my Instagram page, which is @CoachTaters, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. It also helps me come up with ideas for new content to help you more so you can excel in your health and fitness journey. Much love, gang. Take it easy.